What's going on, guys? It's your boy, you're not motherfucking Justin here. See, the accent changed. It's like a joke. Are you tired of YouTube drama? Are you tired of people who are already living in a very, very positive situation, making a mockery of it, and not putting on an entertaining show for you guys at home? Well, you've come to the right place. Also, if you go to my channel, that's also the right place. What we like to do is have fun. And we're about to have some real fun right now because it's time for some motherfucking viewer stories. We're gonna see just how much HIV I can get from the comment section. The first fucking awesome viewer comment that I have is one from an old friend, a current friend, somebody that I don't get to talk to that often. Miss you, man. None other than
Spike.
He says,
I'm homosexual sometimes.
Isn't really a question, but Grayson Glidewell says, UNJ and Sin don't need these items, so give them to me. This was a comment on my backpack video. Now, there were a lot of comments that were like this, and this is my response. If you want free items, just change your name on Steam to You're Not, whatever the hell your name is, and then send me a friend request, and you can be like my 208th person on my friend request waiting list. And then, in line with all those people, I'll consider giving you some free items, just like all those other people. No, not really, but you see, the thing is, with TF2, I don't know if people just don't realize this or something, but items drop for free. And then, like, at that, they cost like a scrap if you wanted to go out of your way to get them. And then I'm sure, on top of that, too, if you were to ask somebody, like, hey, can I trade you for a danger shield or something? I don't know. I don't know why anybody would want a danger shield. But they would probably be like, okay, I have like 30 of them. Here, have it. Ho ho! Who's ready for some YouTube drama? We're about to get so dramatic up in here, like, I make videos on the internet. I don't like anything. No, not really. Sergeant Base says, story time how I met Moose Elk, Muss Elk, the Australian guy. One time I was on Twitch watching Muscle Milk, and he accidentally showed his Skype for a split second. Being the stalker that I am, I hopped on Skype and found his profile. Muzelk realized he showed his Skype, so he shut down his Skype. I called anyways, and I just kind of sat there watching the stream since I figured he wouldn't answer. I continued to watch him stream, and then you hear his Skype ringing on his phone. Muzelk answered, and then I realized that it was my call and that streams have like a 20-second delay. I alt-tabbed back to Skype and saw that Muzelk had answered and was just talking to me like, hello? Anyone there? You're goddamn right I could do impressions. And pretty much the rest of the story goes on. He says that he has a 1-minute conversation with him and that he was the coolest person ever, pretty much. And I don't doubt that. He seems like a real guy. Now, this story doesn't need advice. It's not an advice story. It was just kind of like, oh, that's cool that this happened story. Like, all these stories don't always have to be about some negative shit that's happening or needing advice about a girl at your school and in elementary. But this one's an interesting one because I have a similar story. I'm gonna tell you about the time I collaborated with everyone's favorite YouTuber. I'm probably gonna hate myself because honestly, I think that name dropping and like bringing up other people who are way more popular than I am is kind of shitty, but you know, whatever, I'm doing it anyways. Before the UNJ was the motherfucking UNJ. I didn't actually have a collaboration, by the way. It was a joke. I'm sure that there's somebody out there who's already typed, oh, you didn't collaborate with him, you fucking liar. Yeah, no shit. Anyways, I met Jerma, and I was actually in one of Jerma's videos. So before Jerma used to do this thing, he would post like on Twitter or the Steam group saying, oh, I'm gonna be doing this, join my server, or something like that. You mean, I honestly don't really remember because I'm not super into stuff like that anymore. But he was like, hey, join my server. And I was like, oh, sweet, dude. I'm just now reading this. I could probably easily join this server. And I did join. I was like one of the first people to get in there as soon as he tweeted it. Actually, here's a clip of the video right now. Like the actual like video that it's from.
Are you ready, attackers? Come get the statue. Good luck.
Yeah! Good luck to you.
I don't really know how I feel about that. Like, I don't feel like cringy. It's just kind of weird because that was 3 years ago. That was when I like probably had just turned 18 or something like that. And the whole world was just like my oyster. But not really. Here's a fun fact for you. 18 was probably like the worst year of my entire life. Absolutely horrendous. And this is probably the first time I've watched this video since it came out, honestly. And it's just weird to watch it and hear me and like, I don't know. It's like a paradox kind of thing. Like, I'm looking at it, and that person that is in the video that was like, oh yeah, I hope you're ready. That person doesn't know what, he doesn't know what's going to happen to him in the next 3 years. He doesn't know like the kind of fucked up shit and crazy shit like this that's gonna happen. Like, see, in the last video too, I specifically said that things pass and things get better, and I was miserable. Like, I may not have sounded like it, but I was literally miserable. That was 18-year-old me speaking there, and I was fucking miserable, and holy shit, dude, things have really changed. That was before I even went by You're Not Justin. I'm not exactly sure. I think, though, at the time, I did have the idea to start doing YouTube again, because I've been doing YouTube since 2007, and it's nothing really new to me, but I've had, like, 2 different names. And I really wanted to get it going again and start just following my dreams and doing what I wanted to do. And I was thinking like, but I gotta have a good name, because before the past YouTube channel that I did, I had like a partner YouTube channel. We combined our last names together. And then, I don't know, for whatever reason, You're Not Justin kind of just popped up into my head. And I was like, that's sweet. Hell yeah. And I'd had the idea to go as that on the internet and to make YouTube videos under that name for like a really long time. And then I finally just started doing it. And it took me like a year to get to this point. And holy shit, dude. It's just really weird. Things change. Like, I'll relay this again, but if you're in a tough spot right now, like, I'm fucking with you, dude. Like, through this monitor, through your screen, whatever, I'm with you. Fucking pound it, dude, because think about it. 3 years from now, you're going to be just like me, probably. You're going to be like, wow, holy shit, dude. You're going to look back at it, you're going to be like, I've come a long way. And me watching that, I have come a really fucking long way. An incredibly long way. I wanted to be a better person, and I wanted to have an idea of the master plan, and I feel a lot closer to all of that. Something else, I didn't even watch the whole video just now. I kind of just waited until I saw my name there. And it's weird how just that little tiny, like, 4 seconds just really brought back a whole bunch of things for me. Also, I'd like to note, that name, you saw my name there, it was 1958. How much of you people watched the last video? You saw that I had a sniper rifle with a description tag on it that says, this song's an old one, it's called 1958. See, if you could put the 2 and 2 together, I leave little paper trails of almost everything in videos that I put up. I'm giving you this one. I've made this a little bit too much about me. Don't worry, we're gonna get back on track here with what little time that we have left, because I don't want to fucking make a 37-hour video. Here's a longer one from Jude. Also, just want to let you in, for the longer ones, I'm going to paraphrase it. It would take far too long if I wanted to include long stories and read all of the long stories, so for the longer stories, new rule, they're all getting paraphrased. This went down around last year, 2015, sophomore year, and your boy, like that, was at the tail end of PE class. Changing back from his uniform, covered in sweat and desert dust. We had a new kid in our class. Anyway, everything was fine and dandy until the new kid got into an argument with some kid over something. It ended up escalating to the point where they started fighting in the shower area. That's when the new kid pulled out fucking brass knuckles and started beating the ever-loving shit out of the other kid. The other kid was taking it like a fucking champ. Like, his jaw was completely broken, but he still did his best to not get killed by this kid. As this mini death match was happening, we were shoved out the door by coach and told to go outside to the commons outside our locker room. And then it goes on to say that the police later came, and then there's pepper spray involved, and then the new kid was in the back of a cop car. Now, I don't know what was said. I don't know what this kid did to push the new kid over the edge. Maybe the new kid comes from somewhere which is a lot more hard knocks than the place that you were at, and he felt as if he had to prove himself. I don't motherfucking know. What I do know, though, is that you saw real-life Mortal Kombat, so that's pretty cool. That's a really great game. Nah, I'm kidding. These are both real kids that were fighting, and specifically, they both got their own shit going on. They both got shit to worry about, probably, just like you do. But it just so happened that it ended up coming out that way, at that very time and place. Advice comes in this situation where I'm going to give advice to you from your perspective as somebody who was witness to this shit. What you did was A-okay. You were just a bystander. You wanted no part of it. And you didn't create any enemies. You were just there in the background, and it was something that was unfortunate that was happening. Unless you were there, like, cheering it on or some shit like that. Like, unless this is somebody who's really close to you, you really shouldn't have any kind of fucking part of shit like that, because, like, let's say that kid, like, ended up killing him. That means that you saw somebody die. And, like, it could even go deeper than that with, like, legal shit and stuff like that, because you were there. And you're younger, so I can't really sit here and be like, oh, do this and do that, because young people just don't listen. It's not how it works. But in my personal experience, and this is going for the people that were fighting, you should only fight somebody if you really absolutely have to, and I'm speaking in like defense terms right now. Going out of your way to be confrontational is not worth it, and you're not looking like a bitch for not being the aggressor. You're looking like a smart person because, first of all, real men don't let shit get to them. Second of all, if somebody attacks you, then that gives you the go-ahead to defend yourself, and you shouldn't just take anything from somebody, and you should be the bigger person. So if somebody's making fun of you, they're calling you shit that you don't want to be called, they're calling you like slurs or something, I don't fucking know. You shouldn't fucking take it, but you also shouldn't let it get to you. In life, you're going to come across people who want nothing but to piss you off and want you to get angry and want you to attack them so that way they can fight you back. I don't know where this whole idea comes from where people think that every human being is just full of love, because that's not true. There's probably more hateful people on earth than there is people who are full of love. But the key is to live with it and to be the bigger person and to be the smarter person. The smarter person has boundaries and knows when he is to defend himself and knows when he is to let stuff go. So if somebody's calling you an idiot, you don't turn around and you punch them in the face and say, you're the idiot. You just don't turn around at all. You just keep moving forward. It actually kind of really sucks too for those two kids. I'm sure there was something that they started fighting over, like maybe he said something that crossed the line and it just really pushed him over the edge. But let's say that that kid with the brass knuckles had killed him. That would have been pretty fucked up. That would have ruined his entire life. And that kid, I don't know like what kind of medical shit he had going on, but that he might as well have ruined his life. He broke his fucking jaw. I'm no doctor, but it takes a long time for a jaw or a broken anything to heal. I'm not perfect, never claimed to be. I've been in situations just like that kid with the brass knuckles. And for instance, I never had to use the brass knuckles that I owned because I did do a lot of shit that I'm not super duper proud of back in the day. Not from a nice area. So it kind of makes it act a certain way. Anyways, I had brass knuckles, you know. It was a part of the hood life that I was living. And I like to keep my brass knuckles in my sock drawer. And I remember one day I came home from school and I started playing video games. And then I hear my dad, and he comes into my room and he says, "I'll have you know that brass knuckles are illegal. And if they catch you with them, they're going to arrest you." And I kind of just looked over at him and I gave him the surprised Uncle Phil look face. And I was like, okay. And he literally just walked out. And like, that's the only thing that was ever said about the brass knuckles that I owned. Thankfully, I never got to use them because had I used them, somebody probably would have died. And see, that's just the whole point too. I'm not glamorizing this shit at all. Just fucking avoid conflict and be fucking happy. We get one life and you guys are fucking killing each other. Come on. Why would anybody fight somebody when you could just mow a lawn? That's gonna be doing it for today. I actually took a break in between making this video. It's really fucking late and I'm incredibly tired. And if I do say so myself, I'm doing pretty well with the whole video schedule thing and keeping up with making these videos. This is like my 5th one, I think, in the past week. So hell yeah. Glad you guys are enjoying it. I just watched Concussion. That movie made me really sad. And I'm going to go hide from that. Anyways, today we learned about when to fight, when not to fight, and how to be a calm, collected human being who's not a piece of shit. We learned about the first time I ever did a collaboration video, and we memed it up just like always. As always, I'm Justin, you're motherfucking not. Click on the screen anywhere. Well, not anywhere, but there's probably going to be like 4 places that you can click on the screen to take you to some awesome videos. I would recommend The Most Savage Kid Ever. It's a video that came out yesterday, at least at the time recording this, and it was just fucking hilarious, awesome. Rick's a great guy. And I will see you motherfucking next time.